Hey everybody, what the fuck? What's going on? How's everything? I got a lot of comedy dates coming up, ladies and gentlemen, but unfortunately, most of them are sold out. We are going to add a second date to Riverside. That's way ahead, though. That's like in December 8th. It just sold out, so we're going to add a second date to that. Other than that, there's not much that's available, but what I want to do is I want to do Chicago, Vancouver, Toronto, and a few other places. So that's going to be my goal, to get that run in before I do the Netflix special. JoeRogan.net/tour for all that stuff. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by NatureBox. NatureBox has over 100 snacks that taste good and are actually better for you because they have high-quality ingredients, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, and they're good. I like them. I like these cashew clusters. Those are excellent. I like... They have sriracha cashews and jalapeno cashews. They have a bunch of like nut choices that you can have, like very low sugar stuff. There's a bunch of different options you can have. They have a lot of dried fruit choices, which I like as well. I love their Big Island pineapple. Those are delicious. And then they have some, if you want to go off the deep end and have some sweets, like peanut butter nom noms. Those are goddamn delicious. The point is they have a ton of them. And there's no risk. If you ever try a snack that you don't like, just don't eat it. NatureBox will replace it for free. Go to naturebox.com, choose the snacks you want, and NatureBox will deliver them right to your door. And right now, you'll save even more. NatureBox is offering fans of this podcast, 3 free snacks with your first order when you go to naturebox.com/Rogan. That's naturebox.com/Rogan for 3 free snacks with your first order. naturebox.com/Rogan. We are also brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron is an excellent company that sends you a cooler, and the cooler has these little ice packs in it and filled with fresh food with the perfect portions and step-by-step photographic instructions for you to create delicious meals. And what they've done is they've established partnerships with 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the United States. And as a result, their seafood is sourced sustainably under standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Their beef, chicken, and pork comes from responsibly raised animals. Their produce is sourced from farms that practice regenerative farming. So essentially what they've done is they've done it right. It's very smart what they've done, and it's very ethical. It's like it's a wise way to approach this. And if you're not much of a cook, it's easy to follow their photographic step-by-step instructions. Just read it, pay attention to what they're saying, and you can't screw it up. I mean, you could screw it up, but you won't screw it up if you just pay attention and listen. Photographic step-by-step instructions. They're under $10 per person for a delicious meal, and it takes 40 minutes or less. And they have really interesting choices like miso butter salmon and lo mein noodles with cucumber and charm tomatoes. I don't even know what the fuck a charm tomato is, but that sounds lovely. Meatball pizza with fresh mozzarella cheese, and again, charm tomatoes. They must have a sale on charm tomatoes. Sauteed shrimp and green beans with globe tomatoes. Spinach and orzo pasta. So the point is, it's interesting, sort of intricate, detailed meals. And everything is laid out for you. You don't have to measure anything. It's all in the correct portions. Just follow the instructions. Super easy for you to do. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Rogan. And here's another thing. Blue Apron has a freshness guarantee. They promise to make every ingredient in your delivery ready to cook and fresh, or they will make it right. You'll love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. blueapron.com/Rogan. blueapron.com/Rogan. And again, you can check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping. blueapron.com/Rogan. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. And that's it. Whew. My guest today is Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore is the son of Mitzi Shore, who's the owner and founder of the Comedy Store. You might know him from a million movies that he's done. You might know him from his stand-up or a bunch of other things. So give it up for Pauly Shore.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Boom, and we're live. Dude, you survived. What's up, buddy? All right.
I survived.
He survived the Joey Diaz experience.
You know, I got a text from Tom Segura. Tom, right?
Yeah.
And I said, because he asked me, we were backstage about to go on stage at the main room, and he's like, I want you to do my podcast, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, awesome. And then we were texting just about my schedule with him. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go see Joey Diaz, da, 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 da. And he's like, dude, fucking gummy bears, watch out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't understand what he was talking about. Like, I didn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
I honestly didn't, I was like, whatever, I don't know what you're talking about. And then once I got there, you know, I smoke weed sometimes. You know, I don't smoke all the time, but I like to smoke weed sometimes. But as far as the edibles, I'm like, Dean Gelber is like giving me some like pot stuff, but like cookies and shit. But then like he was eating these gummy bears and they're in a bag. And I was like going, fuck, okay. And he gave me just like an ear or some shit. And that was it. And then I was just like talking him. And then like literally I couldn't talk anymore. I couldn't talk.
So you only
and
ate a part of it, right?
Only ate a half of one.
Well,
and
he's got some
I had to leave.
He's got some that are like 500 milligrams, which is just insane. So you probably had half of that, which is like 250, which is fucking insane. That's an insane amount of weed. But unless you're an OG.
Yeah, I had done mushrooms once before when I was younger, and it felt like that.
Yeah, well, that's to the risk of repeating myself over and over again, which I do all the time. But when you eat marijuana, it's processed by your liver and it produces something called 11-hydroxy metabolite. It's a totally different psychoactive substance that's 4 to 5 times more psychoactive than THC. So that's why it hits you like that. And that's why people think they got dosed, because when you smoke pot, the 11 it's not psychoactive. Yeah. But when you eat it, it's processed by your liver. Yeah. It's something called a 1-pass. And that's how it produces that.
Yeah, and I can't believe he let me drive home. Like, seriously. I mean, I could have, like, because when I was driving home, I was like, dude, I got to go. Like, I stopped. I go, I can't answer your questions. And I said, I have to go. And I left and I drove out, and he let me drive. Like,
you got to understand, Joey Diaz found his mother dead on the kitchen floor when he was on acid when he was 13. He would let you fly a fucking plane on those things. He doesn't give a shit. He's just like, you'll figure it out, cocksucker.
But anyways.
So when did it hit you? Like, you did a podcast, like how deep into
probably
it?
15 minutes into it. And I couldn't speak. I had to stop. Like, I couldn't speak.
Did he ever release the podcast?
I don't know. I think he did the audio, but not the video.
Oh.
I told him not to do the video because I couldn't answer any questions.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see myself that fucked up where I can't even talk. Yeah, those edibles are fucking terrifying. They're goddamn terrifying.
He was eating them like they're like, you know,
He's different.
Skittles or some shit.
He's a different type of human. Well, there's a lot of those people now because edibles and marijuana has been legal for so long. There's so many medical patients in California that you get these people that have insane tolerances. And they're just doing dabs and eating cookies and just like, Jesus. Just like they go down a hole.
You know, the whole marijuana movement and that whole thing is so much different than when I was growing up. You know, when I grew up, we used to like, you know, smoke it. We'd go to the beach and we'd put a towel over us and we'd hide it. Now, like last night, I was at the Funny or Die party, and it was the 10th anniversary, and I was just walking around. It just smells like weed everywhere.
Yeah,
it's just very normal now. Like, you know, that like. I don't know. That's just the way.
Well, I think it's good because it's just like drinking is normal.
Yeah,
You walk
yeah.
by the bar or the comedy store, you see a bunch of people having a couple of
so
drinks.
it's
There's nothing
cool.
wrong with that.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
About
it's
time,
good.
man. So how did you, this impression